Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is Frances Ames. I wanted to go over these exclusive products that Stampin' Up! Is offering just for those close to my heart customers that are coming over during the transition. So if you were a VIP customer, consultant, or just a regular customer from a close to my heart consultant that now became a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator like myself, then you will be able to purchase these off of our website. And this is my website. It's francesames.stampinup.net. And you can use this hostess code, which is HGJ4ZWFM. It's really lovely, and it has both for card makers and for scrapbooking. Look how lovely that is. So today we're going to learn how to do something similar to these cards. Actually, not these cards. These are the paper packets, and I'm definitely going to show you that a little bit more in close up. This is the stamp set that we're featuring, okay? And this stamp set is only $21, and it comes with thin cuts. These 3 thin cuts, okay? So I love this watercolor background. So we're going to make these 2 cards. Instead of saying happy birthday, happy Father's Day, we're going to do a different sentiment there. And this is sold out. I don't know if the workshop is still available. I'm not sure. You're going to have to check. The card kit is still available. Let me show you those cards. They're really adorable. So you get to make these cards, 4 of each. So that's a total of 16 cards. And of course, they have some great techniques on how to apply color, two-tone colors. So there's a cutting guide and how to put everything together. This is a real lovely stamp for teachers. A good education can change anyone. A good teacher can change everything unknown. Thank you for loving me as I am. You have been a true blessing in my life. You are all kinds of awesome. I mean, these are really, really wonderful. Now, this die set is sold out. I should probably write that down. Sold out. And then there's still, I believe there's still some mix in. It's still available. Pretty great. You can mix those in pretty much all year round. Here's a wonderful layout. I really love this layout. And then, of course, these are the card stocks that would be available that coordinate these papers. Now, there's going to be one more month in July with brand new. Now, we've been talking about the Gnome series. So if you are a big Gnomes fan and you've had Gnomes in the past, or you've even watched me do some Gnome projects, here's an example of the spring Gnome, and here's one of the fall Gnomes. Let me get this out of the sleeve so you can see what they look like in the past. And I actually made one. This one has actually a, I guess you can show that this way. Okay, so this is how it looks. How adorable is that? This was the fall one. So I definitely made some with that. But then I said, hey, I bet I can make a Santa gnome. See that? You can see it's the same thing. I just cut the pigtails off. And of course the sunflower, and I made a Santa gnome. So that's really fun to make. And then we have this one. I had so much fun making her. Let me see if I have it here. I do have some cards that I made with her. Yeah, I should probably show you the cards. So, let me see here. See, I've made a really pretty card here. With this. And I did a video on this from my group, my Facebook group. So I really made some really cute cards with her. And this is the spring gnome paper. Okay, so I had a lot of fun making her. I really, really did. And I'm sure you're going to have a lot of fun too making these different gnome projects. So now there's going to be a summer gnome coming out in July. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. And so, you know, that's going to come out in July. The die set is going to be $30, which is also very reasonably priced. And yeah, so that's coming out in July. There's also going to be 3 paper packs that are going to be brand new from Close to My Heart. designed it, but now Stampin' Up! Is carrying it. There is limited quantities of stuff. They're not going to be able to restock it, obviously, because Close to My Heart is over. Today's their last day of operations, basically. So that's it. There's no more Close to My Heart. So there is some product that is delayed in shipping. So they're getting new product, but just to let you know, for right now, that is, which they're not going to restock more Lake Life. They're not going to restock more stamps. It is what it is. So what you see on my website is what you get. All right. Just wanted to make that quick announcement, and I will talk to you a little bit more about what's coming out in July about Close to My Heart products, just so that you can prepare you, and some specials as well. What is the stamp? Again, this is the stamps that we're using, which is called Lake Life Card Making Stamp Kit, because there's a scrapbooking one, but that's sold out. That sold out like the same hour. All right. Let me put this away. Excellent. All right, so this is the stamp set. I already put them on the blocks here. Now these are brand spanking. If you're wondering what this is the glass mat. This is actually going to come out in July for the public, so that is pretty exciting. I got my hands on as a consultant a little early, so I'm excited about that. I think it was $60 if my memory serves me correctly. Now with clear stamps, unlike rubber stamps, they don't have that extra cushion. So these photopolymer stamps, it's great. You can use regular acrylic blocks. I still have some I still have some Close to My Heart ones, because let's face it, I'm having trouble with these two companies. I was with Close to My Heart for so many years. So, like anything, we do need to condition our stamps. That's kind of like what I'm doing now. You're going to need some scratch paper. I have some scratch paper here, okay, that I'm going to play with. And it's a good idea to put something underneath. So this is already comes inside your stamp kit. Just pull this out, put it underneath. Okay, your first card, we're actually going to need this stamp that looks like little trees. Okay, and we're going to need the color pine. Now here's the interesting thing. Pine is a fairly new color, right? But if you've been around like I have quite a long time, you probably would have remembered Ponderosa pine. So if you don't have pine, but you have the old-fashioned Ponderosa pine, you can definitely substitute it for pine. I was looking at the cardstocks and the colors and the paper packet, and it looked pretty good. Again, I have my little cushion underneath. I'm going to go tap, tap, twist, twist, and I'm going to stamp on there. See, it's kind of sort of not complete coverage. All right. Tap, tap, twist, twist. Much better. Okay. So I'm just going to put that there for a moment. What we're going to do is, that's already been conditioned, so I'm just going to move that up there. I'm going to leave this here. We're going to use an A2 card base, which is basically going to take an 8.5 by 11 white cardstock. You're going to cut it in half at the 4 and so this is the 8.5 side. You're going to cut it at 5.5. I'm losing it. This is 8.25. So you're going to cut this at 8.5 and then the other by 11. And anyway, here we go. We're going to go ahead and I cut this piece out. It looks like oars on one side and water on the other. This particular one is going to measure 5.5. Okay, 5.5 by 3. Let me look at my notes. The oars is going to be, 5.5 by 2.5. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the water side in the middle. This print has like a bunch of boats and sayings, and okay, you're going to take the green side. This is going to be 1/2 inch by 5.5. This side has the the checkered pattern, and then it has this honeycomb. This is going to be 1/4 of an inch by 5.5. So you're going to need 2 of those. And then we're going to go ahead and get my handy dandy adhesive here. Let me just put this here in case I need it. And we're going to start gluing things down. Okay, so we're going to start from the bottom up. That's the green part. Just going to add a little bit of adhesive. So with this kind of adhesive, you just need a little bit. A little bit goes a long way. And I am going to go ahead and you can just open this up if you want to see it a little bit nicely. And it's definitely a little bit more forgiving. It'll move. Just, it's ready to put that down. You can do the next one, which is just, actually, I'm going to do the top next, which is this part right here. You could also do it directly here. If you're wondering what that pink thing is, it's actually a nail polish holder. So if you're doing your nails, you can just put your bottle like this and then you can paint your nails. I use it for my adhesive and for my, make this one a little bit longer. Oops, let me fix this. Okay. Do that one slightly, but that's okay. That's what scissors are for, right? Okay, and then I'm going to put, make a little strip right here. There's a tiny little strip here, a little dab of glue right here. And we're going to go ahead and put our little honeycomb. Again, this honeycomb is 1/4 of an inch. If you're wondering how do you read an inch, so this full block, and you can see the same thing with any kind of paper grid. This full, one of these blocks, same here, one of these blocks is a full inch. And then there's little lines in between. So there's 12 and 13. There's a long line in between, so that's the half mark. Half of that is 1/4. Half of that is 1/8. I don't know if that makes sense. Let me go and show you. Let me see if I've got a, here we go. This is a better example. So, so right here, this is 1 inch, 1 inch, right? This half, this point here, that's the half. So this would be 1/2 an inch, 1 inch, 1.5, 2, 2.5, right? This in between these two is going to be 1/4. So this is 1/4, this is 1/2, and this is 3/4. Okay. If you see a little line in between these two, those are 1/8 of an inch. So this would be considered 1/8. This tiny little line in between these two. Okay. So then you go 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the 8/8 would be a 1. So this would be 7/8. I know I've seen some close to my heart guides that said cut it at 7/8, and I'm wondering how many people know how to cut at 7/8. So I just wanted to go over that real quick, just in case you ever get a guide that looks like that. Okay, and I have taught someone a few weeks back at a crop, wasn't sure how to really cut, you know, 1/4s, 1/8s, and stuff like that. And so I was able to show them how to do it and then say, okay, it's your turn. And then we're going to put the center piece that looks like water right in the middle. So this center piece that looks like water is going to be, let's see, number one that looks like is 3 inches by 5.5. Okay. So that's going to be in between both of these. The oar's in the middle. Okay. So now we have a little strip here in between all of these. All right. Excellent. And now we're going to stamp on this. Okay, so we're going to need this underneath when we stamp. It's just a good place to do that. And we're going to use the tree background, which is right here. And we're going to go ahead and stamp. Now we're also going to check to make sure, you see here, that there's no extra ink. Sometimes that happens when we're inking our blocks. So have a little piece of tissue or something, and we're going to do it halfway midpoint, right? So just kind of maybe put 2 fingers in and just start to stamp. There we go. Let's do this again. I'm just gonna, it looks good. I'm gonna stamp right here. And we're gonna do it one more time. There's some ink down here. Oops. So I am gonna make sure that I have, looks like it's gonna be coming out a little bit off the page, and that's okay. All right, so we've created our background. I always say right after you're done with a project, it's always good to just get like a little chamois. This is a chamois to clean stamps. Stampin' Up! Does have these. If you don't have it, you can use an alcohol-free baby wipe. All right, so that's done. So we should put some stars back here. That'll be really, really fun. We're going to need the color Acorn. If you don't have Acorn, you can use a nice soft blue, but I think this will look really great because it's yellowish. All right, so we have the stars. They look like this. Okay, there's like little dots. And again, it's brand new, so we need to condition it. There we go. So, okay, and then we just sprinkle it. No right and wrong. Just have fun. Okay, there. Great. We're done with that. I'm going to clean that. Put that aside. Okay, so these are done. Great. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp our boat. Okay, or not our boat, boat. There's our boat. This is a cloud. This is the pier. Let me see something. There's a boat here. Did I not? Oh, I never put it on a block. Like, where's my boat? I didn't put it on a block. Here we go. Now there is a die set that matches the boat, okay? And so this long piece here, let me take it out so you guys can see. If you cut it out, the stamp image is going to go directly. It's going to be a perfect fit. This one has to do with the pier. So that's for this one. And then there's this one is like rocks, which is this one. I kind of think it looks like clouds personally. All right, so those are the 3 dies. Let me get a small block. I'll use this one since I'm already done with the stars for right now, and I'll put this on my stamp. Oops, I need a bigger one. Wait. Nope, I need a bigger block. Okay. Not a problem. I put some stuff. So if you are watching, definitely put down in the comments, where are you watching from? All right, here's my boat. Okay. Let me put this away. The only one I have here is Happy Father's Day still here. I want to keep it that way. All right. And I have it here. So you have 2 options. You can stamp directly the image and then using your die cutting machine, cut out the image or fussy cut your image. I am going to try something different. I'm going to try to just cut the image out of white cardstock, in this case Daisy white cardstock, and I'm going to then stamp directly on here. Now, with this pattern, it goes with acorn. So let's go ahead and grab our acorn. We need to condition this first because this is the first time we're using it, making sure that it's ready to take good ink. Look at that, it's looking better every time. Great. So I'm going to go ahead, again, clean any extras. I guess it doesn't matter because this is a die cut. And if you're having trouble seeing, I'd recommend getting like a darker cardstock, because I could always flip it on the other side. And then you can see a lot more easily. Okay. All right, you can try and do another one if you'd like. Let's do it one more, just one more. Okay. I like using a dark cardstock or whatnot. Make sure it's nice and conditioned. There we go. It's a lot lighter, this one, which is okay. It's like a nice watercolor look. All right, the next thing we're going to stamp is the little rocks. And that is going to be this tiny little piece here. But that's going to be of a different color. Now, you can definitely do like a nice light gray. Let's see here. So I'm going to use Slate. Do you remember Slate? Or excuse me, Whisper. A nice soft color. Oh, this is fine. Let me clean this real quick. All right. And all I just put is just regular soap and water. Cleaned it, and that's how I clean this. There's still stains. It's totally fine because I use lead, like permanent type. So we use this, and we're going to use, where is it? I just had it. Here we go. Okay. Here's the ink. Here's the black. And look at that. Isn't that like almost a perfect? And this is Whisper. It's like a gray color. And I think that'll look really wonderful. So again, this is a die cut item. So I can kind of go like this. Make sure. There it is. Nice soft gray. Let's do another one. Okay, this is the image. Okay. Kind of looks like, I know these are rocks, but man, does it look like a cloud to me. And so Whisper is already a soft color. Now you can fussy cut it. If you don't like all this white, you can always fussy cut it, make it a little bit smaller. But I think that's part of the charm, is actually having it look like that. I'm going to go with the lighter stamped image. Let me put these extra ones on the side. And I always like making two of the same exact card whenever I'm making cards. It just makes things a lot easier, I think. All right, so we've got our slate. Let me wipe this down. And I'm going to like that. And put that aside. So I'm ready to use them later on. Now you could, of course, make these out of mocha or some kind of dark brown color. That's certainly something you can do, right? But I think it looks great just as is. So right now we're going to go ahead and you can glue this down here. Okay, you can glue this down here, and you can glue this down here. And then we're going to put a sentiment. You can put the sentiment here, or you can put the sentiment here. Since you already have some, you could do it right here. Personally, I like doing sentiments out of just a straight cardstock, white cardstock. That's just me, because it helps, in my opinion, it really does help the reader to focus their eyes on that sentiment. Okay, so you could use pine, you could use black, you can use mocha. I wouldn't use acorn, none of the really light colors, or you can just use regular black ink. So let's try, I'm going to try the mocha just to see how it looks. I think that'll be fun. If you have chocolate or some other brown ink pad, go ahead and you can probably experiment with that as well. And the sentiment we're going to use is says, I love you. Yep, this is it. I love you to the lake and back. Ah, okay. Again, we're going to condition it first. Condition it first. Oops, I was off them. There we go. I love that. Okay. So I'm just going to ink it now. And this time's for real. Let's see if I can get it right the first time. I'm going to try to do as much as I can to the top. And then I let it go. Perfect. So now I have space here to cut the extra. Fold this, put it away. And of course, immediate. If you do it immediately after you stamp, then when it's time to clean up, it makes things a lot faster. And I'm just going to snip this with this. This is why I like really large scissors. If I don't want to bring out my trimmer. That looks pretty straight to me. I'll put the others aside, and now I'm going to go like this right in the middle. And then you're going to create a little banner like that. Same here. Base. Okay, there we go. All right, and we can just, now we can put our decorations. Now, you're wondering, you can definitely buy the embellishments that come in this kit. If you have other embellishments, and I certainly do, right? You can definitely put other kinds of embellishments. Like I have some from, this is a julep one. I have still a few. I definitely have a lot from Close to My Heart, and I just put it all in one little baggie on my browns. So, you know, you can definitely do that. I like this nice large ones. And since the sentiment is brown, it will match. So I'm just going to use, I could also use either the light ones or the dark ones. Maybe I'll use the light ones, these lighter ones. Actually, let me put the sentiments down. We're going to need foam dimensionals. Okay, I'm going to cut these. These are small little items. And don't be afraid. See, there's a little extra here. I just snip them and I use the corners. Okay, so I'm going to flip these, put this in the back, remove it, stick that right here because it's a rock. Take my little boat, and I'm going to put some dimensionals there. Okay. And then I'm going to remove it, peel it. Okay, and I'm going to put our boat right there. We also need some for our sentiment, right? Like that. I think that looks great there. And I'm going to use some regular size dimensionals for those. One here. Whoops. Oh, I guess I wanted to stick. Okay. And one in here. Though my dimensionals has its own mind. I'd rather put this in the middle. Don't put it anywhere. Here we go. Oh, now it wants to stick to me. Okay. Okay, great. All right, here we go. I like to put this like in between both. That looks so cute. And this is like a great warm-up one. And then we can put some dimensionals here. I'm going to use the middle one. Now, I'm going to show you a trick on how to do that. So just, I'm going to recap the sizes of the papers, okay? So the strips on the top and bottom, which is the green ones, that is going to be, what do I have here? That's going to be 2 inches. That can't be 2 inches, is it? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong card. Sorry. It's like, that doesn't make sense. All right. The green is going to be half an inch by 5.5. The middle section here, the one that looks like water, that is going to be 3 inches by 5.5. And then this yellow piece here is a quarter of an inch by 5.5. Okay. This little strip, I got my little ruler here. So that is actually, I would say I probably started at 3 inches by 1 inch. And we used mocha. You can use cocoa or any kind of brown that you have. That's what I was saying. Here I use slate, and this is acorn, and this is pine, and this is acorn. And that's it. And we used regular liquid adhesive, and we used regular dimensionals, Stampin' Dimensionals. So there we go. That's card number 1. I did want to show you a great technique for you. It's a cost-saving tip. We probably have them, and clear gems, rhinestone gems. Okay, these are Stampin' Blend markers. Now, Stampin' Blends are different than the writing ones. You can use the writing ones, take a stamp, not this one, but it's the regular markers, and just go like this. They're called water-based markers, just like these inks are water-based inks. So that means you can kind of paint these on to the stamp and then stamp the image. However, the tri-blends, the ones that we use at Close to My Heart, and these that says Stampin' Blends, these are alcohol-based markers. Okay, you do not want to do that with your stamps. Okay, not with this. But here's another cool thing. You can take, actually I would prefer the long, bigger tip one side. You can paint your colors to match. Okay, now they are wet, so that's usually the first step I would do. Put it aside, let it dry, and then when it's time to put the card, the last thing you normally do is put the embellishments. Now you have your embellishments to coordinate with the rest of your project. So definitely, if you're ever considering which ones to get, don't be afraid to get the Stampin' Blends, because you can save money by doing something like this. So I used to always get the same color. After that, I'm like, I just want some clear ones, but that's okay. Sometimes the pearls are cute, sometimes the metallics are fun, but you can't go wrong with regular gems, right? All right, so next one, let's go move on to card number 2. Card number 2 is fun. This is it. Grab a different scratch paper. Okay. All right, so we have a regular white card base folded in half. Okay. We have this pine. This measures 3 inches by, all right, 3 inches by 3 1/4. This is actually, I'm sorry, this is card number 3. I want to show you this one at the end. Apologize. Card number 2. This is definitely 3 inches by 4 1/2. Okay, that's pine. With the white cardstock or Daisy White, this particular one, I'm just going to confirm it for you, is going to be 2 3/4, right, by 4 1/4. So it's going to nestle right inside like so. Okay, this is going to be pattern paper. Okay, so the back looks like honeycomb. This looked like checkered, or not checkered, buffalo plaid type of paper. This particular one that looks like honeycomb is, I think it's 2 inches. Yep, 2 inches by 5 1/2. And then this one is 2 1/2 inches by 5 1/2. So this is 2 inches, and this is 2 1/2 inches. And how we're going to do this particular card is Okay, we're going to glue this directly on this side. Let me start from this side. I did it, and then it's really up to you. If you want to do it the other side, you know, what you do is you take your paper. It's going to be at 2.5. You're just going to tear a little bit off the edge. You want the white to show, so you're tearing towards yourself. Okay, that's how you got that effect. So I'll move that one right up. Okay. And the pattern paper here. Actually, that one I tore a little bit too much, but that's okay. Let me go this way. So we're going to go ahead and start gluing this down, the honeycomb. Now, if you like the honeycomb more, you want to use the honeycomb versus the buffalo plaid, go ahead, go for it. This is your card. This is your creation. Have fun. That's the best part of double-sided paper. You have so many options. You don't like one side, use the other side. All right. And here we go. We're going to line up this side of the edge. And we're going to line up this side of the edge. If you notice, I'm not going completely to the edge because when I push down, it's going to spread. So I just need to put a little bit there. Okay. All right. Next, we can go ahead and glue this part down. Right in the middle. I'm going to say try to line it up a little bit with that green or with that side. I like to leave a little bit more obscure to the side so we can put some embellishments there. I'll move this here. Now we're going to think about stamping. So I move this here so we can see what we're doing. So what we're going to do is we're going to need the ones with the trees. Okay, that stamp. We're going to need this one that looks like I call it like a swatch. Okay. We're going to need the water base. This one here. We're going to need the pier. It's not the pier, that's the rock. This is the pier right here. The pier is like this. Okay. And we're going to need our rocks again. And we're going to need our stars again. We're going to use the sentiment, instead of the sentiment that says Happy Father's Day, what I actually thought of is using the zip strip. The zip strip is the top part of your paper packet, you know, the one that says Lake Life. Okay. And it says relax in the sun. So we're going to use that instead. Okay, so that we're going to cut off that part and we're going to use that for the sentiment. All right, so let me move this over a bit. Move this out of the way so I have my room here to work with. We do need to do some conditioning. So let me grab this little scrap of paper. This to the side. We said we needed some piers. I got some piers here. So let's start with the piers. Again, we can use the mocha if we like for the piers. I think that'll be fun. Let me try that. I think that might be fun. Yeah, I think that might be fun. Let me try that. Again, we're conditioning it, so we're doing multiple stamps here. All right. So let me move this little cushion over. So I have room. All right, can you see me? Good. So all we're going to do is, and it's sometimes, like I said, it's sometimes a little hard to see. It's okay to just put a little green and just decide which side you're going to actually use. So I'm using the dark side, so I am going to practice. Like this. And the good part about clear stamps is you can see what's going on underneath. Oops, it's a little too tight to the edge. I turn it around, flip it to the other side, and I stamp again. There we go, much better. Much, much better. Okay. Now, if you don't like that look, that's totally fine. Let's put that aside. And I'm going to wipe it down good. And I'm just going to go like this just to make sure. Yep, I've got all the ink off. And we're going to use the acorn. We do this so that we don't damage our acorn ink pad. Then we're going to practice. Look how great that looks. I think that looks so good. It's nice, good, clean. Here we go. And let's put this down here. It's nice and juicy. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to do it just on the other side just to see which one looks better. So I like the first one better. All right, great. So I've got my pier. I'm going to close this up, put it away. Actually, we are going to need it again, but usually that's going to be towards much later. So let me just clean this. And I put this aside. We're definitely going to need it for the stars, okay? For the mocha for the stars. Oops, I don't want this to get lost. There we go. All right, what's next? So we got our piers done. I kind of did I like the brown one, I think, best. I kind of like the brown best. I don't know. Yeah. I kind of like the brown. I tried. All right, the other thing we're going to need to do is we're going to do the water splash, this one. And we're going to do the water splash out of Seabrook. Should go over here. So the paper colors are Seabrook, and Sage. We didn't use any Sage on this one. We used Seabrook. So let me move this to the side. We're going to use Seabrook. Okay. We need to condition it first, of course. Stamp, stamp, twist, twist. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? That's that water look that we want to make. Okay. So we're going to do that right towards the center. Just like that. Isn't that pretty? Oh my goodness, I'm loving it. It looks like it's watercolor. Yet, you don't even have to be a watercolor paint artist to do this. I love that. I truly love that. All right, so we're going to do the same idea, but we're going to do the acorn. Actually, we're going to need acorn next. Okay. We're going to definitely use this for the trees, but we want to put some color behind that. So we're going to use, put this way. We're going to use some acorn. Again, we got to condition this because it's the first time we're using a stamp. Okay. Okay, it looks like mountains in the background. I love that. And we're going to just go right up here. That's it. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? All right. I'm going to close this. And we're going to need pine next. Okay. Let me clean this. I'm just going to check to make sure it's nice and clean. And it is. Great. Next thing we're going to do is we need pine, and we're going to use the trees. Okay. So now we're going to put this here. And this is going to touch both what I call heaven and land. So I'm going to be right like this. It's going to overlap a little bit. How pretty that is. Absolutely stunningly pretty. So you're creating like this watercolor effect because that's the design of the stamp. Okay. I love that. I think that is so pretty. Now here we're going to put down here, we're definitely going to put a sentiment right in here. We're also going to put the pier, right? We're also going to, we haven't done the rocks yet. We got to put some rocks in here. We've got one here already. Right, we created one already, so I have one there. We got to do another one. And that one we did out of, I chose to use this color. Okay. So, and it's and it really blends very well with this landscape, which is nice. And if you ever look at rocks whenever you go like near lakes and stuff, they almost look like they're surrounding. So I really, really like that. So we got two rocks. We've got two rocks. We've got the pier. And we have our little, where did I put it? Our little sentiment. Okay. Relax in the sun, sentiment. Okay. I'm going to trim just a tad off of this sentiment. Just a tiny bit over here. Just nice and straight. So it can kind of match the other side. Okay. Now, if you notice, I have like a little dark streak on my little paper. That's because I didn't clean the bottom of my ink block. So I'm just going to cover up with my sentiment. All right, so let's go ahead and glue this down. Now, this is the other piece that I wanted to share with you. This is Seabrook. Nope, I need Seabrook. There it is. All right, now you got Seabrook. What we're going to do is we're going to just squish, push down on the two. And now there's some ink on the lid. Using a watercolor brush, we're going to start picking up some color. And we're going to start doing that. Adding a little bit of color to the background. Okay, just from the lid. So there's a whole nother technique right here, making it a nice like watercolor effect without using like watercolor pencils or anything. But I am using my watercolor brush to do that. Okay. How cool is that? Again, we can do the same idea. Let me do the same again. We're going to push down. Need some more ink. Open that back up. Now I've got more fresh ink here. And we can do the same here. This one is wet. Do I have a dry one? I do have a dry one here. So let's grab a dry one. Okay. Look how great that looks. All right, wonderful. I'm going to close this up. So now I've just taught you a brand new technique. All right, now we can glue this down. Oh, I was going to do some stars. Just realized that. So let's grab some acorn. Just remembered I wanted to put some stars. There's some, yeah. So I'm going to do something different. I'm going to do what's called second generation stamping. First generation is you take your piece of paper, you take your stamp it once. That's first generation. Second generation is you stamp once, you stamp again. That's second generation. Generation one, generation two. Pretty easy, right? Now I have a lot on the edge of this stamp. Let me clear that up. Okay. There's no extra ink. Okay. There we go. We've got some stars and some other stuff on the background horizon. I guess we could have put some darker blue. I don't know. But there you go. And now we can start gluing stuff down. I feel like this type of glue lasts a long time, and it's very well loved, as you can see. All right, so I'm just going to glue this down. It's all wet. I could always do another one if I don't like my results. I think I'm going to trim this just a tad. It's just a little bit too much white there. Okay, there we go. I'm going to put my sentiment. It's going to be right here, right across here. Okay, so I'm going to put some adhesive there, like that. There we go. And glue that down. Yeah. Glue this down, like so. And then I'm going to take this part here, and I'm going to take my rocks. Oops. Put right underneath my glass mat. I'm going to trim this a little bit as well. It's a lot of white, and it's normal to have white around die cuts, but I'm kind of picky. So we're going to do this like so. This has to be bigger, right? Oops, caught it. And trim a little bit on this side. See, there's a little bit of white there, but just trimming it a bit. Just a little bit. How much fun is that? If you don't like the top, that's fine. You don't have to do that. So we're going to glue the rocks first. I think I smeared a little bit here. Glue a little bit here. Probably shouldn't have done that. I should have probably just left the blue. Okay. And that's okay. I could always make another card. It's not a problem. And then this goes like this, standing up. Right in here, like so. Which side do I want? This side? Yeah. Okay. Okay. And this is going to go right on top. Like so. We're going to put some gems down. Now you get to choose what kind of gems do you want. Do you want brand new painted? And I just showed you one technique. So right now I've showed you two kinds of techniques. How cool is that? Just squeezing your lids so some of the ink can be covered, right? I showed you how to paint your gems. Okay, we can just do like a gem up here if you like. Some gems up here. There's some lighter gems that we can even use. Just to make it fun. If you don't want to put any. Alright. Let's just. So that's card number 2. This out of the way. And again, let's just kind of remind you the sizes of this card. This is going to be 2.5 inches by 5.5. The pattern paper, this was the water looking like, and were the oars. It's going to be 2.5. This is going to be 2 3/4. This piece here is 3 inches by 4.5, and the white cardstock is 4.25 by 2 and 3/4. Okay, so that was for the one we just completed. All right, we got one more card. One more card, and we're doing really well with time. All right, so this one I made in like conceptually in my head. This one I made conceptually in my head. Okay, so I figured, I looked at the scraps after cutting my pieces of paper, and I said, what can I do? Okay, so I got a bunch of scraps. So I decided to use the same paper. This is the same paper, right? The water background and the oars. So I cut these at 2 inches, and this is 3.25 inches in height by 4 inches. Okay, so it's 4 inches, right? 4 inches in width by 3.25 inches in height. Same piece of paper, but we're going to use the other side. It's 4 inches again by width and 2 inches in height. Now this one, the honeycomb, the same as the buffalo plaid. That one's going to be 4 inches as well in width, and in height 1 inch. Okay, so we're going to put the oars at the top, and we're going to leave like a white border around the bottom. Okay. Now we have, and then we're going to glue this here in between. All right. So let's just do that first, just to kind of get that out of the way. We're going to do the oars at the top, leaving a little 1/8 of an inch all around. Just a tiny smidgen of a border. Whoops. Just a smidgen of a border around the card base. Oops. Okay, see that? There's like a 1/8 of an inch around. Then you're going to do the bottom one, same idea, but we're going to make sure they're touching. Fingers in the way. Whee! Okay. Okay. And they're over touching each other. Like that. And it's also leaving a nice little 1/8 of an inch. And then we have our little honeycomb pattern. We're going to put some adhesive on that. Now, interesting enough, since we don't have the recipes for these that are in this PDF catalog. Usually we get recipes on, what was used and things like that. So this is really fun because we don't have that here. All right, so we got the honeycomb here. Now we have the mat that goes in the center here. This mat in pine is going to measure 3 inches in width by 3.25 inches in height. Okay, I think I want to use the, it doesn't matter, the cardstock here. And white cardstock is 2.75 or 2 3/4 by 3 inches in height. Okay, so that's going to go like this. All right, right in the center, front and center, like so. And we still have some sentiments that we have not used. Okay, we still have not used relax, it's your birthday. Okay, we used it on relax in the sun, right? We used it there. But let's use happy birthday one, right? This one, this one's I love you. This one says relax in the sun. Okay, so we're going to use that sentiment for this card. And let me think what else we want to do. We wanted to do a different kind of, we're going to do the same idea of the watercolor. Okay, we're going to use the water. This is the background. Here we go. This is the water I want to use. Okay, this water. Actually, we have not used this water at all, have we? Okay, so we're going to use this water. That's the one I want to use. And we're going to do something different. We're going to use Glacier, if you have it. If you do not have Glacier, go ahead and use your Seabrook. It's totally fine. We got to condition this. Make sure it's nice and juicy. Yeah. See, doesn't that match closer to that? Glacier is a nice softer hue, which is fine. Either one would coordinate well. So I'm just going to go ahead. That looks really good. And I am going to go ahead and just stamp right there. Okay. That looks fine. First glance. I love it. All right. Clean that away. We're going to add some tree lines. Now you get to decide which tree lines do you want. Do you want to use this one? So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do second generation. We talked about first generation. We talked about second generation. Okay, we're going to open up our pine. Set the way. All right. We talked about this is first generation. Okay, we can certainly go ahead and do that, and I think that looks great. Then we can go around the other way and do a second generation. I think that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do one generation, stamp off a piece of paper, and then we're just going to go like this. Okay, so now it's looking like the water is reflecting. Look how great that looks. That looks wonderful, doesn't it? So it's kind of like the water's reflecting. Okay. So we have this, and we have this. Now, the other thing we can do is, if you wanted to put some color in the background, we've already learned how to do that, right? We've learned we can use this mountain background with acorn. Let's put that on top. Let's see how that looks. The fun thing about playing with crafts, right? You get to make the rules. Okay, this looks pretty. Use dip. Let me change this up. That looks good. So I'm just going to go like this and just put some color in the background there. So there's trees, mountains, water's reflecting the trees. Water's no longer getting damp. Let's see how that looks. Okay. All right, so we've got all of that. That's pretty cool, I think. Right? Don't you think? I think that looks pretty fabulous. I see there's some white showing here. So let's just continue to distress it. Why not? I'm going to go like this with my scissors. It's creating a nice little distress look at the end, edge. Okay. Here we go. Oops, goes like this. Okay, I think that looks so pretty. Now, if you have an extra pier, you can definitely add the pier there, right? If you have some more rocks, you can make some more, put some more rocks there. Or if you want to put a little boat, right? We can put a boat. We can definitely put a boat if we want. But I'm gonna say let's glue this down first. Let's glue this down first. And let's see, because we still haven't put a sentiment down. I want to make sure there's room for that. Okay. We're going to glue this onto the green in the center. Oh, this is so funny. I almost put, that's okay, it doesn't matter. It looks upside down because it is upside down, but it's okay. I get to glue it like this. So I'm just going to caught myself like, wait, it's upside down. Bloopers and all, I'm here. Bloopers and all. how great that looks. Now we got to put the sentiment. So I grab my little scrap of paper, right? I would say we're going to need, we could put the pier. We could put the pier, right? We can put the pier here if you want. I guess that's okay. We can put the pier there. But we do not need to put a sentiment. So let's see. Relax, it's your birthday. I think, should I do pine or should I do mocha? I'm going to do mocha again. Actually, I should put this flat on the surface. Make sure it gets the ink. I haven't used this before, so I have to condition it. It's getting better. Much better. Okay, let's do that one. Gonna do. Okay, gotta make sure I have any extra ink off the block. Selling the chamois, I use it. It's so eco-friendly. It's awesome. Okay, there it is. It's your day. Wonderful. I'll wipe this down. All right, close this up. Take my scissors and snippy doo-dah. So with this one, I'm definitely going to have to cut it a little bit shorter. So I'm going to go like this. Okay, cut this like this. It's a little crooked. Gonna have to redo this. Let me see if I can go like this. Gotta restamp this. Doesn't look right. Let me close this old one. Kind of reminds me a little bit of these Stampin' Up! Ones. Mocha. Let's see. Looks good. Relax, it's your birthday. And it's crooked. And it's crooked. Let's flip it over. And there's some ink. Extra ink there. Okay, much better. All right, so I was going to go like this. And I can even dovetail the edge of this. Go like this. Go like this. Go like this. I could even cut this a little bit shorter on this end. Let's see if I can do that straight again. Okay, much better. I'm going to trim a little bit here. Okay. Relax. It's your birthday. See which one I want. This or this? I think I like this. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this part down. Okay. So I do it right from the edge. Should move this up a bit. Right from the edge. There we go. Put the little boat on this side. I want the boat. The boat looks cute. Because you can kind of just float in your boat and fish, right? And then we can put some embellishments here. So I'm going to go with a little darker hue. There's like 3 different hues. I'm going to do maybe the middle one. Okay. Oh, come on. There we go. Got one. We've got 2. Let's put some up here. That looks decent enough. I mean, this is a great one, and this is a great for, like, especially for guys. I'm always on the lookout for cards for men, right? Because women, there's lots of florals and whatnot. So let me go over again one more time the dimensions. And I did want to do one more technique. Now, if you remember, Close to My Heart used to have these shimmer brushes, and I know Stampin' Up! Has its equivalent of it. So I am going to, and you can see how it looks. I'll just use this scrap paper. Squeeze just this one's the clear one. Okay. Be careful when you do this because it can be messy. That's why I never do it directly. Yeah, something that's not this. And it just adds a little bit of glimmer and shine to the water. I don't know if you can see that. Got a little closer, you guys can see the shimmer. Okay. And this is just a clear one. Now you can do the same for all the 3 cards, right? Here's the other one. 1, 2, 3. You can do the same here. Add a little bit of glimmer. Just going to pick up some more from here. Just to add a little bit of glimmer and shine. And you can add that to any color. Now, I know Stampin' Up! This is pine. I have pine as well. Oops. Gotta pull directly. Okay, so again, I'm going to squeeze a little bit just to kind of get it started. It says push here. And you always want a scrap paper because sometimes they come out a lot. I don't know what's going on. It's there. Okay, it's starting to come. So, okay, I just have to be patient. Now it should be working. I see it was going down the barrel. I have no idea what's going on with this. What is, let me see something. Evergreen. I have an evergreen. Let me see how this evergreen looks. See, this is. And it has a little. So I'm going to do some here. Basically what I'm doing is it has shimmer to it, which is really nice. Okay, so I just wanted to play with it, use my tools that I have just to kind of make it fun. I have to play with that pine one just to see what's going on with that. We had evergreen, but I know this is like it's almost there. Look, when I open it, you see it, the barrel. It's really dumb. Okay, let me get. I have a baby wipe it handy just in case. Sorry for the mess. Let me clean this real fast. That was not fun. Okay. It's okay. Sometimes you gotta make a mess and be creative to be creative. Definitely gonna have to use some rubbing alcohol to get all this out because that's a lot of ink. All right. Well, put this aside. Now it's clean. It shouldn't damage anything. Here we go. Can trash that. Trash that. I've got another wipey here, so I can make sure I wipe this down really good. I love it. Now this glass, I could do something really cool. I'm going to show you something really different. All right, I'm going to show you something also really different. My hand's already inky, so why not? I can go like this, and I've got some ink spots here. I can take my paper, and now I've got like some watercolor look to this. Almost looks like ocean. There's like a chamois that you get when you buy the glass mat. Okay, so you have that look, right? Let me dry this off. Yes, I have any tissues. And I can dry it off. Okay. You can take your blending brush. You can use one of your old ones. This is one of my old. You can tell the color is like a little off, right? Yellow from, and you can even go and finish it up. Any of the like that. Okay. Look how cool that is. Now you're taking a white piece of paper, and with your inks, you're creating your own pattern, your own textured look. I mean, how cool is that? I like twisting to get all those. I don't like the lines. I go in circular motion, kind of blend that in. Look how cool that is. So now I've just created my own background and textured paper. How awesome is that? How awesome is that? All right, here's the next thing I wanted to share with you is, I think this would be a good example. Get this table down real quick. All right, so I can take my marker, okay, go like this, and just kind of brush in, because these are water-based. Actually, this has too much water in it. Let me take a look at this one. See the color on it though. It's very faint, but there is some color on here. All right, so let's see. So there's some faint color there, and then I can go with a different color. Let's do this one, Glacier. The water one is the water one, yeah. And I can go and do a second layer. Okay, that looks pretty good, and I love the water ink spots. And then I can finish it off with a little bit of sage. I can finish this off with a little bit of sage. Let's do sage next. Just at the tippy bottom. Okay. Close this up. Put this aside. Put this aside. Close this up. And we can see the bottom, very tippy bottom. I know there's hardly any room, but so you got 3 different colors. I feel like markers, blending markers, work best. But if you want just like a soft color, like right here, it's super soft, like a washed out color. And this is good to, like, when I go like this, kind of looks like rain. Very subtly, it looks like rain. So don't be afraid to, you know, definitely try playing with your inks, your markers, and things like that. So just picking it up and going like this with a wet water brush, kind of create rain. I know we have a cute stamp set with animals and rain, so that's really good. So now we have water, so you can have your own lake water, and then you can stamp and do whatever you want with this. So I just showed you, like, geez, I don't know how many techniques today. I showed you how to 1, 2, 3 with the gems, 4 at least, and then picking up with a brush. So I showed you 5 different techniques, and we made 3 cards, and we made 3 beautiful cards. So I hope you had fun. You got to learn how to do this. All you really need is the stamp set and a paper packet. That's what I used. I did have some cardstock already in hand, so I used that. And I hope you had fun. I do want to talk. I am going to make another live in my group. If you want to be a part of the group, put it in the comments or send me an email. My email is, you can send me a direct message through my website, which is francisames.stampinup.net. You can also find my blog. I'll write it down for you very quickly. That's my marker. You can send me a message through my blog, francisames.com, and then you can put a / paper crafts. And you're going to find all kinds of information regarding Stampin' Up, including videos and downloadable sheets and things like that for free. So I hope you feel free to use my link to either communicate with me or here, sign up for my newsletter so you can get information on these. I like to send out guides and things like that with my cards for those who participated. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you want to be a part of my private Facebook group, make sure you send me a message, and I will love to include you in that so that you can get really exclusive information regarding Stampin' Up and Close to My Heart products and classes and things like that. So talk to you soon. God bless. Until the next time. Bye now.